Lesson 9.6, Permutations. A permutation is an arrangement or listing of objects in which order is important. You can use the fundamental counting principle to find the number of permutations. So if we look at example A, in how many ways can the starting 6 players of a volleyball team stand in a row for a picture? So when we use permutations, we're figuring out how many different ways can we order these. So the first thing that I always start with is, how many are we choosing? How many different places do we have? Well, we have 6 volleyball players. So I draw my 6 different positions out. And then I ask myself, well, how many people could stand in the first spot? Well, we could have 6. Okay? And then how many people are left for the second position? Now, if you're standing in the first spot, you can't really stand in the second. So now we're down to 5. And then so forth. Then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And just like the fundamental counting principle, we multiplied our possibilities together, we're going to do the same thing here. So we take 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And when we multiply all those together, we get 720. So there are 720 different ways that we could rearrange 6 volleyball players. Letter B, in a race with 7 runners, how many ways can the runners end up first, second, and third place? Okay, so again, the first thing I always ask myself is, how many am I choosing? How many different places do I need here? I only need 3, so I'm going to draw my 3 lines. Okay, I have first, second, and third place. So then I have to ask myself, well, how many people are eligible for first place? How many could get first place? Well, we have 7 runners, so 7 people could. Okay? And then how many people are left for second place? Well, if you get first, you can't get second, so we have 6. And then we would have 5 left for third. Now, we only stop after those 3 because it only asks for the first 3 places. So then again, we multiply them together. So 7 times 6 times 5 is 210. So there are 210 different ways that they could end up first, second, and third. Okay? Another way we're going to find permutations is this symbol P, and then parentheses 31, 3, represents the number of permutations of 31 things taken 3 at a time. So 31, choose 3. Okay? So if we look at example C, what is the probability of 12, choose 2? So again, I'm choosing 2. I'm going to draw my 2 lines. Okay? And I have 12 options for the first choice. That option's gone, so now I'm left with 11. So I have 12 times 11, which is 132. Okay, letter D, permutations of 4, choose 4. So I'm choosing 4, and then my first option, I start at 4, and then 3, and then 2, then 1, because once you've used 1, you can't get it back, and I multiply them all together. So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. And letter E, we have the permutation of 10, choose 5. So again, I'm choosing 5, and my first option is 10. That one option's gone, now I have 9, 8, 7, and 6. Again, I just keep decreasing by 1 because once we've used that one, we can't get it back. And then we multiply them all together. So 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 is 30,240 different ways we could rearrange that. Okay? Permutations can be used when finding probabilities of real-world situations. So if we turn to the back. Letter F, 2 different letters are randomly selected from the letters in the word math. What is the probability that the first letter selected is M and the second letter is H? Okay, so again, we're selecting 2 letters. And we're selecting from the letters in the word math. So I have to ask myself, how many possibilities could I have for the first letter? Well, I have 4 letters in math, so I have 4. That letter is taken, so now we have 3 left for the second choice. So we take 4 times 3, which is 12. So I know I have 12 different possibilities. Now, it asks what's the probability that the first letter selected is M and the second letter selected is H. I need to think, well, how many times can I order M and H? Well, I can only do that once because H and M are not the same thing. It has to go M, then H. So I would have a 1 out of 12 chance that my letters would be M and then H.